You know,
I'm
Anthony
just
Davis
saying.
was talking about he wants to play for a good organization. He hasn't given up on the Pelicans yet, but he's
Better start
like,
giving up
I
now.
see all these other teams. I see all these other teams winning games. And then I look at my team,
And it's
and I
like,
look at their teams, and I'm like, what is it like to win games like you?
I've been saying this,
So,
man. New Orleans is holding the league hostage.
Yo, what is up, guys? It's me, Zachary, and we are back. Yo, thank you for joining me back on that grind to 200K and hashtag a million a year. Speaking of a year, though, of course, today is the last day of 2017, and I'm not one of those people that's big into this whole new year, new me type thinking. I just think that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I don't do the whole New Year's resolutions or anything like that, but even though I'm not big into the whole New Year's thing, I am grateful for everything that you guys have done for me this year. Y'all have easily made this 2017 the best year of my life. I started off this year as just a guy sitting in front of a camera talking about basketball. I'm still that guy who just sits in front of a camera and talks about basketball. I will always be just that guy. But back then, I never would have imagined to be where I'm at right now. I was able to interview one of my favorite players. I can't say my favorite player because I can't pick favorites on the Pistons, but I got to interview Andre Drummond. That was insane. And I got to post videos on the NBA's YouTube channel. That's like, what? This is stuff that I didn't even think was possible at the beginning of the year. So if you guys ever wonder why I thank you so much and always tell you how grateful I am, it's because every day that I wake up and do this, I realize that it's only because of you guys that I'm able to wake up and do this. That's why I say you guys are the real MVPs. Y'all will always be the real MVPs. So thank you. Anyways, though, we gotta give another thank you, and that's to the sponsors, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app that is a must-have for NBA fans who enjoy or want to go see games live. They let you see the view from the seat before you purchase, as well as rank the seats on a scale from 1 to 100 to make sure that you are getting the absolute best deal. Speaking of best deal, you can enter the promo code SDC to receive $20 off your first order to make it an even better deal. Download the app in the description box below. Kendrick Perkins, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, David West, Boris DL, Kyle Korver, Mo Williams, and I guess Josh Howard too. Those were the most notable names of the 2003 NBA draft class. What is considered to be one of the best draft classes of all time. Mainly because it had, you know, LeBron, Melo, Wade, Bosh, Perkins. It had those guys in it. But outside of those guys, what else was there really in that draft? You had a few nice role players, a few nice players off the bench, but in terms of depth, it wasn't one of the deepest drafts that the NBA has ever seen. Pretty much less than a third of the players in that draft actually carved out a role for themselves in the NBA, and that number gets a lot smaller when you're talking about players that at least made the all-star teams in their career. SDC, why are you talking about this? It's simple, because in a few years, I think that the 2017 draft class will be considered better than the 2003 NBA draft class and might have potential to be considered the best draft class of all time. And yes, I'm talking about better than the 96 and 84. 96 might be extremely hard to top, but only time can tell. This has been said many times already this season, even before the season started, that the amount of talent that we got injected into the NBA through the 2017 NBA draft class is insane. If it weren't for Ben Simmons, you would have an extremely hard time deciding who you think should win Rookie of the Year. Even then, with the way a couple of these rookies have been playing, they might give Ben Simmons a run for his money if they keep playing like this. Granted, I still think Ben Simmons will win, but I don't think it will be a complete runaway. Just think about it. Lonzo, Tatum, Markkanen, DSJ, Mitchell, Fox, Kuzma. Those are just the players who have already proven so far into the season that they will be extremely special players in the NBA. And besides them, you still have a handful of other players who could also become special. A few of them will become all-stars. I don't think all of them will become all-stars, but at least a few of them will become stars in the NBA. And for the others that don't become stars, they will at least be really good starters. First off, you got Markelle Fultz. Only reason I didn't include him with the first group of players is because he hasn't been able to prove anything yet since he's been injured. But you got Fultz, Josh Jackson, before anyone calls him a bust because he hasn't been playing well, chill. He's shown signs here and there, and he's still a rookie. We knew coming into the draft that he was going to be a work in progress. Jonathan Isaac, Frank Ntilikina, Luke Kennard, Bam Adebayo, John Collins, OG Anunoby, Malik Monk, maybe. Granted, the fact that he's not getting any playing time with the Hornets is concerning, but still, it's too early to write him off. So you got all those players. Now, will any of those players go down in NBA history as better than LeBron James? Most likely not. Better than Dwayne Wade? No disrespect to Dwayne Wade, third best shooting guard of all time, but who's to say any one of those guys won't be better than Dwayne Wade once their career is all said and done? No one knows. It is possible. Better than Kendrick Perkins? I'm sorry, that just ain't happening. Once again, the sheer amount of talent that we are seeing in the NBA right now from these young players, just the 2017 draft class alone, it's ridiculous. You had Donovan Mitchell hand LeBron James an L on his birthday. Donovan Mitchell, last night he was amazing. He Dwayne Waded Dwayne Wade. He used Dwayne Wade's own moves against Dwayne Wade. This is a rookie, the 13th pick in the draft. He's been beasting. Who knows when the next time will be when we see this amount of talent come into the NBA all at once. In 10 to 15 years, we might look back on this and have a hard time believing that all of these great players came into the NBA on the same day. I think Stephen Curry might be one of the most underappreciated superstars of all time. With him, it's like you don't really realize he's there until he hasn't been there for a while, but then when he comes back, you realize he was gone. He hadn't played for the Warriors for the past couple of weeks, and even without him, of course, the Warriors have still been really freaking good. And of course, that left some people wondering, do the Warriors really need Stephen Curry? Who was more valuable to the team, KD or Steph? I didn't even entertain that question because I don't even think the people who are saying that stuff have been watching the Warriors play without Stephen Curry. I mean, yeah, they were still good, they were still winning, but they weren't the same Warriors, especially on the offensive end. There were times when the Warriors would struggle to score. That's what makes them the best team in the NBA. They were winning games basically off their defense without Stephen Curry and just getting by on the offensive end with what KD was able to provide as well as what Klay was able to do too. But with Curry, the Warriors don't have many offensive lows. Without Curry, they were scoring like 100 points here, maybe 110 the next game if it was a good night, sometimes only 95, even 85. With Curry though, you get what you got last night, 141 points. 141 points in Stephen Curry's return. Most of the time when a player comes back from an injury, we think, oh, it's gonna take time for them to get back into the rhythm, shake off some of the rust. Granted, it's not like he was out for half a season or anything, but still, I don't think anyone would have predicted that in his first game back, he would drop 38 points in only 26 minutes. That looked like the best of Steph Curry from a couple of years ago when the Warriors had that amazing season and Curry barely had to play 30 minutes in order for him to end the game. Man was 10 of 13 from deep. 13 of 17 in total from the field. Man, I ain't a Warriors fan, but I appreciate greatness. The way Curry can shoot the ball, we've never seen anything like it before. And like I said, I feel like we as fans kind of underappreciate him because you don't realize what he's bringing into the game until it's gone for a bit. Now that he's back, you get reminded of just how great he is. He now has 9 games in his career where he has hit at least 10 threes. 9 times where he has hit at least 10 threes. Do you guys not understand how amazing that is? Like, come on, bro. The Warriors look like so much better of a team when Steph Curry's playing. It's not even fun. I was prepared for this to be a disaster. Kawhi Leonard was playing. The Pistons were already without Avery Bradley and Reggie Jackson. And then I learned that Stanley Johnson wouldn't be playing either. I didn't think this was going to be a good game at all for Detroit. And I was wrong. Reggie Bullock, Andre Drummond, Luke Kennard, man, those guys were monsters last night. Dre was on the board and in the passing lanes all night. 14 points, 21 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. People be sleeping on Andre Drummond as a player, man. I'm telling y'all. Reggie Bullock, unless you're a Pistons fan, you probably don't know too much about this guy if you know about him at all. He has been great ever since he became a starter. He dropped 22 last night. And Luke Kennard. Luke, let me get these buckets real quick. Kennard, SVG. I don't know what you have against rookies, but I'm telling you that you need to get the guy more touches. He got all the touches last night, especially in the fourth quarter when he scored 12 points on a perfect 4 of 4 shooting from the field, as the Pistons used that surge to put this game away and get the 93-79 win over San Antonio. Kennard with 20 points. He is the best shooter that the Pistons have. That's just a fact. He's shooting 44% from deep, and that percentage would be higher had it not been for his first few games when he was adjusting to the NBA range. Here's my thing with the Pelicans and this roster that they have. They don't have a lot of room for this thing called improvement. What we're seeing right now is probably going to be as good as it gets on a night-to-night basis. They ain't got no money or no assets to make any moves to make them better right now. There will be nights when Rajon Rondo plays really well, like when he had 25 assists that will make them look better, or an Etwan Moore randomly gets hot and that will make them look better. But those things aren't gonna happen every night, and when they don't, once again, it's just the Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins show. They ain't even got the money to upgrade their bench. I just don't see how this team gets any better than the 500 team they are right now. They lost to the Knicks in a close game last night. Porzingis got the Knicks within striking distance as he scored 7 straight points down the stretch to tie the game up, and Jared Jack delivered the finishing blow at the free throw line after Jrue Holiday fouled him with just under 10 seconds to play in the game. 105-103 the final score. Porzingis held his own against Cousins and Davis with 30 points, while Davis had 31 and Cousins had 29 points and 19 rebounds. The Sixers were able to come away with a much needed win over the Nuggets. They were without Joel Embiid due to rest, and Ben Simmons had one of the worst games of his career so far, but great play off the bench from guys like Rashad Holmes, TJ McConnell, and Jared Bayless, as well as Dario Saric playing a great all-around game with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists were enough for Philly to overcome Jamal Murray and his 31 points. 107-102 was the final score. Shabazz Napier was solid again. He is a good backup PG. I'll admit it, he's a good backup PG. 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in Damian Lillard's absence, but the Blazers got smacked around by the Hawks big time in the second half. Portland's offense has been struggling a bit this year, which is strange, and it's not just because Lillard is out. Even when they had Dame, they haven't been the same high-scoring team that they were the past couple of years. Schroeder was good again for Atlanta though, with 22 points and 8 assists. Aaron Gordon dropped 39 points and the Magic still lost. Let me not bash them too much though before they beat my Pistons again, but actually, you know what? Nah, forget that. Hey, everyone in Orlando needs to go. Owner, GM, everyone, because there is no way you guys should be this trash for this long. You guys have been rebuilding since Dwight Howard left and have almost nothing to show for it. Look, you got some talent on your roster, but you traded it away for nothing. And then in the offseason, you go after guys that are best suited to play for contending teams, and you go out and pay them top dollar to lose for you guys. Look, the Magic are like the lottery version of the LA Clippers. They're always there. They're always in the lottery. The Clippers are always in the playoffs, but there's no point because no matter what, it doesn't matter. 117-111 the final score. Tyler Johnson with 31 and Dragic with 25. Free Aaron Gordon, free Fournier, free Payne, free Big Vooch, free everyone. But that wraps up all the action from last night. Talking about the Orlando Magic almost killed my vibe, but you guys can go vote for the player of the day by clicking this little thing right here. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected Dwight Howard and his 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists as your player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to smack that like button, as well as go check out the new episode of the Dish podcast. That thing just dropped. It's fire. The links and everything will be down in the description box below. Make sure to subscribe to join the quest to 200K and hashtag a million a year, and to stay updated with everything going on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets to SGC, and I'm out of here. Peace.